2010, you have to keep in mind that these 406 units that, in particular that are over at J.D. Berry will then be counted into the census figures, and we are required to pick up 10% more of those. So we're going to require another 40 units as a result of taking on the 400. So this allows us a little more planning and take a look at the community and where we can properly place these particular dwellings. So it's a good idea to do a preemptive strike. It also puts us in good stead with the state in relation to some existing planning and way ahead of time. I would urge you to vote in favor.
At the microphone.
Hi, I'm Molly Chisholm, 22 Winter Street. Just out of curiosity, where did the money go from the sales of these pieces of all these houses, these units? Am I assuming correctly in that the town-owned land bought the taxpayers' money, and I'm just wondering where the funds go when these units are sold.
So when the properties are sold?
Yeah, when the property, when the buildings themselves are sold. Because I'm assuming that this is land owned by the town that we pay for by tax dollars. I'm just wondering where the funds go after the units are sold.
Well, there's a number of ways that the town enters other properties through tax needs, so they very rarely go on purchase. But when the town ends up with a piece of property, if they sell it, the money does go into the town's general fund.
Bureau of Ordinance, 34 Elm Street, North Reading. On page 18, section C, you're talking about the development of two dwellings, each one shall be an affordable unit. And the development of three or more dwellings, at least one out of every three shall be an affordable unit. Why don't we require 2 out of 3? We've had problems before in years on this with some of the other things that went through. We really need to get this and take care of it. So when the new developing and any new building and this kind of stuff, we should look ahead to put more affordable housing out there. We've been behind all the way along. If we change this so that it would only be 1 out of 3 that would be would be like that. We have two that would be affordable. That way we're going to really help and do something for the town. And this, we should look ahead and do this. We didn't do this before, and this is something. So I think this time, when you have these, they should be changed so that when you have 3 units, 2 of them would have to be affordable housing. I don't know how this gets changed, but I think it should be looked ahead so that this can be done. I'll make a comment on that. How is this decided to be this way?
Mr. Pierce.
Yes, the problem with trying to get too deep into making too many of them affordable is that the project no longer becomes economically viable for a developer. The town probably is not going to want to get into the building business itself. So probably what would happen is the lots would be sold with the understanding that they would develop, at least in this case, one of them as an affordable unit. If you tried to make 2 of them or 3 of them an affordable unit, it would be, they wouldn't be able to, the project would not be economically viable for the developer, and they just wouldn't do it, in which case it would get done. So one of the reasons that those numbers were picked like that is to make sure that the project economically makes sense, so that they'll actually get done.
Further discussion. This requires a 2/3 vote. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Unanimous. Article 23. Mr. Vino. Also, before Mr. Vino reads the motion, there was a handout available as you came into the hall this evening. There's Article 23 on one side, there's a picture on the other side, colored picture. So if you have that, if you don't have it, stick your hand up and someone can get it to you. Mr. Vino.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. I move to accept the provisions of Chapter 43D of the Massachusetts General Laws as amended pursuant to Section 11 of Chapter 205, the Acts of 2006, and to approve the filing of a formal proposal with the Integrity Permitting Board for the designation of an overlay for land at 104 Lowell Road, Map 7, Lot 2.
We have the motion. Does the Finance Committee wishes to make a recommendation. Again, just keep your hand up if you don't have that handout and you'd like it. Mr. Massachusetts.
Yes, Mr. Moderator, thank you. The Finance Committee recommends this article.
For the Board of Selectmen, Mr. Vino.
The Board of Selectmen unanimously recommends.
Does the CPC wish to make a recommendation? Mr. Pierce.
Yes, the CPC unanimously recommends. I have a couple comments on it.
Mr. Pierce.
Okay, this expedited permitting law is basically aimed at the Berry Center to allow that project to move along at a reasonable pace, considering the size of the project. It guarantees the local permitting decisions on the property development site within 180 days. And this is important to a project like this to make sure that it moves along at a reasonable pace. It increases the visibility of the community to the target development sites, which means that these sites are more likely to be successful. So there are a couple of criteria for this. It must be zoned for commercial and industrial development. It must be eligible for the development or redevelopment of a building of at least 50,000 square feet of gross floor area, and it may include existing structures and contiguous buildings. And the sites must be approved by the local governing authority, and must be approved by the state interagency permitting board. This particular 42D is aimed at the Berry Center primarily. That's what we're trying to put this together for.
Mr. Messeri.
Just to add to Mr. Pierce's comments, when he talks about the Berry Center, he's talking not about the Lincoln Properties apartment development. He's talking about the commercial piece of the property, the other half of the property, which we would like to attract development of as soon as possible.
Further discussion. This also requires a 2/3 vote. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Unanimous. Mr. Messeri.
Mr. Moderator, I move to postpone consideration of Article 24 and all remaining articles until Monday, April 30th, 2007.
We have a motion to postpone all the remaining articles until April 30th. Mr. Messeri would like to, you want to wait for him to make a brief?
Just to explain why we're doing this. Why April 30th? First of all, the legislature is debating their budget this week, and the legislature will be releasing their budget figures confirming state aid the week of April 23rd. This will allow us to fine-tune the balanced budget to account for changes in state aid and to fine-tune the 3-year budget plan based upon updated state aid. This is kind of the set of numbers which we will be updating for the April 30th meeting. I just want to point out that these are our current estimated revenues. This is the balanced budget. In other words, without an override, we'd be dealing with this balanced budget. And this is our 3-year plan. And as you can see, the gaps that we have associated with it, we will be discussing this in more detail, and these numbers will be slightly adjusted on April 30th. On April 30th, we will vote on budget-related articles, which will include 15, 16, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, and 29. The town will post on its website a revised copy of Article 24. If you look in your warrants, you'll find only two columns, which is the recommended budget for a balanced budget. The override numbers are blank. We'll be presenting those override numbers in an updated omnibus article. It will be posted on the town website the week before town meeting, the week before April 30th, and a printed handout will be of the revised operating budget will be available to all attendees of the reconvened April 30th town meeting. And as a reminder, the adjourned session of town meeting commencing on April 30th will require a quorum of 150 registered voters. And I hope all of you who have donated your time this evening to come to town meeting and participate in our democratic process will be here on April 30th. On April 30th, the Board of Selectmen will consider calling for a special election to be held June 5th for the purpose of voting a Proposition 2.5 override. And the board decided this evening that we will post 2 ballot questions on the June 5th ballot. One to support a 1-year override, which would be the same as the, and a 3-year override. The 3-year override, the first year of it, the 2008 fiscal budget, will be the same whether it's a 1-year or a 3-year from the point of view of an override. So we hope that everybody will attend town meeting on the 30th. We do need a quorum, unlike this evening, and that number again is 150 town citizens. Thank you.
So everybody here bring a friend, because we only hit 138. Mrs. Capizzuto.
On that note, Mr. Moderator, I have to challenge for a point of order, but I will say I wondered why I walked into town meeting tonight with a red ribbon and not a yellow ribbon, and then I thought, go Sox.
On that note, we have a motion to postpone until April 30th. With seeing no further discussion, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Unanimous. Mr. Messeri, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Mr. Moderator, I move to adjourn to Monday, April 30th, 2007, at 7 p.m. Daniel H. Day Auditorium, North Reading High School, Park Street.
On the motion to adjourn, seeing no discussion, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Unanimous.
A lot of education between now and then on that 1 and 3 year.
Being past the hour of 7 o'clock, I'll call the meeting to order. I have a certification from the Board of Registrars. This is to certify that under the provisions of Section 172-4 of the Code of North Reading, the quorum of 150 voters required to conduct business on a day or at a time other than that specified under the provisions of Section 172-4 of the Code is present. There are 188 present people in the hall. 188 people present in the hall at the moment. If I could ask Mr. Messeri to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Just a few housekeeping matters before we begin with the articles. Mr. Messeri.
Mr. Moderator, I move that the following persons be admitted to the meeting. Greg Belaconis, Town Administrator. Darren Klein, Town Council. Joseph Tassoni, Finance Director. Bob Toros, Transcript and Freedom of the Floor. Dave Hanlon, DPW. Liz Barberio, Treasurer Collector. David Trojan, Superintendent of Schools. Cal Nelson, School Business Manager. Patrice Cronin, Northeast Metro Superintendent. Heidi Griffin, Town Planner. Eugene Turek, Manager of Information Systems. Gerald H. Strecker, 59 Crystal Street, Melrose, VP Microsystems. Joe Thibodeau, North Reading Police Department. Allison Olson, Human Resources. Paula Dumont, Assessor. Helena Minton, Library Director. John Hewitt, 60 Chestnut Street.